Mistakes are normal, and there are a lot of people prone to the idea that more mistakes are just a sign of you trying it hard. You basically just grind it off day in and day out. All of that is very admirable, as not everyone can get there showing up every single day. And as much as you show up, if you happen to fall into this trap most starting coaches tap into, you are not alone. And you know what? I am uniquely qualified in sharing this trap with you, as I have done this every single time myself. Yes, embarrassingly, over and over again. And for the better or worse, at one point in time, everyone falls into this trap. So, which trap am I talking about? Hello fellow coach, my name is Ekrem Gencaslan and I'm going to be your host for this educational session as we dive into all the questions you may have around coaching and entrepreneurship. I've got one word for you: research. Yes, research, and even more research. This is some kind of the trap especially beginning coaches tap into when starting out. They are insecure in their capabilities to begin actually coaching people and consider they just need to do a little bit more of research. But 3 months and 500 articles later, you find yourself in which spot? At the exact same one, yeah? You have now certainly gained more knowledge, but where does your business bring more money in? So much around our work as coaches depends on our capabilities to drive results, and research is certainly a component to learn new things and help our clients get past their challenges in even better ways. But the research aspect brings you only one thing: more knowledge. But maybe that thing that you just learned doesn't apply to your case specifically. You've got to test it out and check how that specific knowledge helped you progress in your business. For as long as you don't put these things into practice, all the knowledge and research in the world bring you where? Nowhere. Knowledge is awesome, and as much as they preach knowledge is power, if you don't put it in use, 500 books on a topic with zero action will bring you nowhere. Better check in on one piece of information, take action on it, and move from there. Because as much as you think that you do not learn anything new, every day in which you put things into practice, you collect data. Data that couldn't be more applicable to your case. It derived from your activities. It derived from the insights that you had to implement something either new, as the activities didn't necessarily push you forward, or if they actually did, you had a chance to double down and enjoy how the activities come into fruition. I want you to really imprint this into your head. A certain degree of knowledge is certainly required. You just won't get around it. But once you have that knowledge, and we're talking here about a few days, at max a week, until you have a lot of work already ahead of you. Speed of implementation rather than amount of information. You may think that this case doesn't apply to you in terms of that you need more time or so, but it really is that easy. If you doubt that, I can help you to prove that to you. Just ping me a message, and after we're through, the only thing that you are going to say is this: wonders never cease to exist. Why am I so sure about this? Because with some of the coaches I had a chance to engage with, they were telling me how much they were doing for their business and that everything is working perfectly fine. But when it came to getting clients, they suddenly just became quiet. Why, you want to know? Again, everything according to them was working perfectly fine, but for some reason it didn't bring them anywhere further. I asked them then about their daily and weekly activities they were practicing to get a better picture and get to the real cause. As you can imagine by now, it didn't take long until this repetitive theme of research came up. Something they shared was something like, let's take it here, client. On a regular day, I basically work 6 to 8 hours intensely on my business. Within this time period, I check in on strategies on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and all the other platforms available out there. Then, once having collected enough resources, I have to put this information together and select which resources finally were good to use and which not. After I finished that, I either on my own or with some other person was thinking how I can make use of that information in my own business. My usual question that strikes me first after such a statement: after you have dedicated some time for research, extracted useful resources, and checked it through on its application, what did you do with all of that? Client, like, what do I do with all the information? Me? Yes, exactly. What happens with the information you can make use of? Client, isn't that obvious? I store it, and once I need it, I'll get back to it. Me? So hours of research get stored, and this over a long period of time. How often did you make use of it? Client, so far I'm still in the research process. Me, how long will that research process last? Client, I'll be ready in a few more weeks or months to get started. And so on. It sounds crazy to hear something like this, but this really happens all the time. Why do I know that? It happened to me multiple times, and it happens daily to so many more people as well. We literally dedicate our lives to the research component, while the execution part of it is what drives you forward. A more general example would be with the nutrition aspect. Do you know what a healthy diet should look like? Maybe yes, maybe not. Can you figure out the main parts within a few couple of hours, let alone an entire week? Definitely. I don't mean the very specifics, yeah? But you certainly understand that, let's say, an increase in your vegetable intake or your water consumption could be, in both cases, beneficial to you, right? But what do you usually do? You check in on even more articles, books, YouTube videos, and you probably even attend some more seminars. But for what? Because you think that they are going to give you a magic pill that you have found in all of your research. Sounds familiar? But if you were to just start taking action after the first hour or first day, you'd be already that week in on uplifting your health level. If that doesn't ring a bell now, I really don't know what will. But as you made it through with me to the end of the video, I have a complimentary option from my end, as I really know exactly how hard it is to find some good and authentic content around coaching. Therefore, shoot me a message on Instagram or via WhatsApp, and I can provide you with a collection of 25 sources that will really dial in on everything that you need to know to get started. And yes, even this list is really extensive, but you really don't need to look any further in the first place afterwards. And yes, That's as well some research, but rather selected one to get started immediately. And for those amongst you, can always happen, who want to skip the entire theory research component and get from theory to practice, let's connect and see how we can find a mutually beneficial way to get your coaching business off the ground. Time is up. That's it for today. I really appreciate you taking your valuable time of your day while you could be doing anything else in the world. So thanks again, and if you happen to enjoy the content, smash the thumbs up button, turn on the notification bell, and to provide you with more content to get your coaching business started, share down in the comment section what you would like me to cover in the future, and I see you next time in our next session together. Peace.